Welcome to Honest Abe Living in the Kitchen. My name is April Patterson, and I'm so excited to bring to you a fun recipe perfect for the fall season, Zuppa Toscana. It's a wonderful Italian soup that Molly, our interior decorator and coordinator here at Honest Abe, is going to show us how to prepare. It's one of our family's favorites, and I hope it'll be one of yours. So we hope you enjoy, and let's get cooking.
Hey guys, I'm Molly Cooper. I am here in the kitchen cooking Zuppa Toscana today. So it is my favorite soup, probably. It is a knockoff of a popular restaurant soup. I'm certain you guys have heard of it, probably, at some point in time. So these are the few things that you need. It's a really easy recipe, and you guys can do it. So we have one sweet onion, not huge, but not tiny. About 5 russet potatoes. I leave skin on. I just wash them really good, skin on, chop them, but you'll see that in a minute. I do a mixture of sweet and hot Italian sausage. So a lot of times you will buy a sausage in like bratwurst form. And you have to, for this recipe, take the casings off. And so it's just the sausage part. A lot of times I can find this that it's just by itself, not in the casing. So that makes it a lot easier if you are that lucky. The next thing, we have heavy whipping cream and kale, which is really good. This is kind of an optional thing. Some recipes will call for it, some don't, but it does make it really good. So this is better than bouillon. Chicken base, some Parmesan cheese, of course garlic, and a little bit of fried up bacon to finish it off with. So the first thing that we're going to do is I'm going to preheat my pot in the back. So I usually take and turn it on, medium, high medium to get it going. We are going to fry our bacon up first. So if you see me adding in a couple, and here in a little bit we're going to have 2 pots going because I plan on doubling this recipe. It's a great recipe to take to someone's house, if you want to share dinner with them or whatnot. But tonight I'm going to go and see my grandparents, and they love for me to bring dinner, and my papa loves soup. So that is what is for dinner at our house tonight. Okay, so we have got our bacon down in the pans, and all you're doing is just frying it off. So it's in little cubes. It's going to fry up really nicely, and we'll take that out when it's finished. So next we are going to just get the bacon out of the pans after it's completely finished and put it on a lined paper towel plate so that it can drain really good until we need it again. Okay, so now we are going to open up the sausages packaging. And remember what I said earlier, we're going to cut the casings off. So I just take the tip of my knife and I slit. Make sure you really go through it. You can tell and see that it's pulling on that casing. So all you do then is just peel it out. It comes off fairly easy. And that's what you're left with. So it's just sausage. So let me get all these filled up and I'll be right back. So now I have got them all done. I'm about to drop in the last of the sweet Italian sausage into the pot. We're going to cook that off really quick and get it out with a slotted spoon onto a lined paper plate. So while we've got the sausage cooking off in the pots behind me, I'm just going to dice up this onion. So this is something that my grandmother taught me a long time ago. She hated like the skin of the onion to, hang around, I guess is what she would used to say. So I always take my paper towel, put it down on my cutting board at the very beginning, peel everything off of the onion into the paper towel. Sometimes you lose a few pieces, and that's okay. Just like Legos, they go back together. Set that off to the side. Same thing for this side of the onion. Peel it all off. Make sure all that skin is gone. And then you have a clean cutting board, and we throw that away. So we are just going to continue to dice up this onion. I know that you guys probably know a 10,000 ways to dice an onion. I'm most likely not doing it correctly. This is just the way I've always done it. So feel free to enlighten me on how to do this better. Don't cut your fingers, I know, is the #1 goal of the whole situation. So that's what I aim to do. We are going to drop in about 2 cloves of garlic and get that cooked in with our onions. Okay, so we have got our garlic and our onions all sweated off. The recipe calls for about 10 minutes or so, so we did that. We are now going to add our water in so that we can get our potatoes cooking. Okay, so we've got our water in. We are going to add in those sliced up potatoes. I think the recipe calls for about 5. And you can do less or more depending on your family size or who you're feeding. So it's a very forgiving recipe. I think that's why I like to cook it so much. We're going to bring that to a boil and let that boil for about 7 to 8 minutes or until the potatoes are just tender. If the skins start to fall off of it, do not worry, that's when it gets good. So just stay tuned. Okay, so we have got the water going. It's coming up to a boil. And another part of that recipe was the better than bouillon. So I'm going to add 2 tablespoons of that to each pot. And it's kind of a creamy, consistency. It's sort of thick. So I am certain that it's going to make this even better. Okay, so now the potatoes, I've checked them. They are just tender. To the fork, I tasted of one. It was really hot, but good. And so it's ready for our next step. So we're going to take a cup of our heavy whipping cream. So we'll measure that out. I'm not going to spill it. I just didn't have a good hold. And we will dump it into the pot of water. I'm going to add just a touch more because I didn't quite get it full. I did not want to spill it. I'm going to give it a very quick stir to get that all in. And then remember earlier when I said that I mixed the 2 sausages together in the pot. So I've got the mild and the hot. So I'm just going to take about half or so from each plate and put it in. Give that a very quick stir so you can see it's really good and hearty. Lots of good stuff down in there. Shake that off. And then for the fun part, the kale. So this is just a curly kale. I went through, chopped it up a little bit, tried to get all of the stems that I saw off of it. Typically, I just break those off. It looks like a whole lot, but it will cook down. And it'll get really pretty and bright green. Whoopsie. But it will be super good. Okay, so this is a great opportunity also to bring in a really good bread. So I went to a local baker, a farmer's wife, and she fixed me some focaccia bread. So I'm just going to take a couple of pieces out, pop those in the oven, get them warm, and that's what's going to go along with our soup.
Okay, so soup is on, soup is ready. We are just going to plate it up. I like to put mine down in a wider type bowl because it cools off a little quicker. It smells so good, you guys. It's going to taste even better, I'm sure of it. Get all that nice kale and the potatoes and whatnot. I go ahead and top mine with a little bit of bacon. And, you never can have too much. Let's go for some more. On top of that, let's do a little bit of shaved Parmesan cheese. It just gives it just that extra little bite And here we are, a nice bowl of soup to go along with our bread for these chilly days coming ahead.